You know what's weird about walking through an old money American home? Everything looks permanent, like the furniture has roots. The portraits have been on those walls so long they've left shadows. And you start to realize these people don't decorate, they inherit. Which is a completely insane way to approach interior design when you think about it. Most of us spend weekends scrolling Pinterest, repainting accent walls, swapping out throw pillows. These families? They're using the same dining table their great-great-great-grandfather bought in 1820. And honestly, the interiors that creates are kind of fascinating. So I wanted to dig into what's actually in these homes that never leaves. Not just because it's expensive though, yeah, some of it is, but because these objects shape everything else in the space. Yeah, the whole design approach is backwards from what we're taught. And number 9 on this list is something most people would pass right by at an estate sale, but it completely dictates how these families decorate entire rooms. If you're into real interior design, not just trends, but the psychology behind why spaces feel the way they do, subscribe and drop a like. This gets into some genuinely strange territory. Alright, let's get into it. First thing you notice in these homes, the architecture is untouchable. Original moldings from 1780 stay. Hand-carved mantels stay. Wide plank floors with 200 years of wear? Those especially stay. Because here's the thing, these aren't just houses. They're the family house. The same study where great-great-grandfather worked. The same dining room where they hosted whoever. You don't gut that for open concept. You don't modernize it because HGTV said so. The whole interior design approach works around preserving original details. Mantels become focal points. Built-in window seats get cushions that respect the architecture. Picture rails mean you're hanging art properly instead of just nailing stuff to walls. It's this completely backwards approach where the architecture dictates everything else. And honestly, creates way more interesting spaces than starting from a blank box. Then there's the portrait situation. Oil paintings of ancestors everywhere, entrance halls, dining rooms, stairways. Often by significant American artists if the family's really old money. And these aren't just hung wherever, they stay in the same spots for generations. The furniture arrangement, lighting. So even wall colors, everything is chosen to properly display these portraits. You can't do trendy gray walls when great-great-grandmother needs warm lighting to look right. Can't do modern minimalism when there's an 8-foot portrait commanding the room. Museums apparently want these paintings. The families always say no. Because the portraits aren't decoration, they're the reason the room is designed the way it is. Everything else supports them. Kind of intense, but it creates these really intentional interiors. Libraries. Real ones. Floor-to-ceiling built-ins, rolling ladders, proper reading chairs. And the shelves are full of first editions Hemingway, Fitzgerald, Faulkner. Often signed because apparently their grandfather knew these people. These books aren't decorative filler. They're read, carefully, and passed down with notes in the margins. And the whole library design reflects that. You're doing traditional built-ins with crown molding, good lighting, dark wood, not trendy floating shelves. The books dictate the aesthetic completely. They stay on those shelves generation after generation, creates this lived-in authenticity you can't fake by buying books by the yard to fill empty shelves. Duncan Fife furniture, early 1800s American Federal pieces, dining tables, lyre-back chairs, card tables. And they're used. Actual dinner parties happen at these tables. But you can't put Duncan Fife in a modern farmhouse room, doesn't work. So the whole space stays formal, traditional. The upholstery gets redone every few decades, always in similar fabric to respect the original. The wood's darkened naturally over 200 years. And because these pieces are so distinctive, the entire room is designed around them. Modern decor would look absurd. So these rooms maintain classical proportions, timeless design. The furniture is the hero, everything else supports it. Original architectural details, hand-carved mantels, built-in window seats, original wainscoting, coffered ceilings, crown molding. These don't get removed to update. They get maintained. Painted in historical colors, sometimes researched from actual paint archaeology. The mantel becomes the focal point, furniture arranged to honor it. Window seats stay, so you add cushions that work with the architecture. These features create character new construction can't touch. They're 200 plus years old sometimes. So the interior design works with them, enhances them, never fights them. That's what makes these spaces feel real. Inherited textiles, silk damask draperies, embroidered linens, vintage lace panels sometimes 100 plus years old. These get maintained, relined, but they stay, and they influence everything. You're not doing modern roller shades when you have silk damask drapes from 1920. You continue that quality, that traditional approach throughout. Some families have textile collections in cedar closets, vintage linens, monogrammed sheets from great-grandmother's trousseau, antique quilts. These come out for guest rooms, special occasions. Adds layers you can't buy new. The quality is different. The patina is real. Makes every room feel collected over time instead of ordered from one website. China collections. Inherited patterns, often multiple sets. Formal china, everyday china, tea services. Complete sets for 24-plus people that have been in the family forever. These live in china cabinets, built-in displays. The dining room often has custom storage glass front cabinets designed specifically for these collections. You're not doing open shelving with mismatched dishes when you have complete spode from 1880. The whole dining area is designed to store and display these properly. They get used for holidays, formal dinners, then carefully hand-washed. If pieces break and the pattern's discontinued, they're gone. So there's real care, proper storage, genuine appreciation, and the interior reflects that formal dining rooms, proper solutions, traditional aesthetics that honor what's being displayed. Here's the one I mentioned, original murals and hand-painted wallpaper from the 1800s. Some of these homes have scenic wallpaper in entrance halls, trompe-l'oeil in libraries, decorative painting on ceilings. Built into the architecture. Can't be removed without destroying them, so every single design decision works around them. You're choosing furniture and fabrics that complement a mural from 1820. Lighting the space to showcase hand-painted wallpaper properly. The artwork becomes the foundation, the color palette, the style, the mood. And because these elements are permanent, the interior has continuity. Can't follow trends when you have irreplaceable artwork on the walls. So these rooms stay timeless, classical, carefully curated. Creates depth and history you could never design from scratch. What gets me about all this? These interiors aren't styled, they're lived. Every object has a purpose beyond looking good. The design follows the objects instead of the other way around. Creates authenticity you absolutely cannot fake. Can't buy it at Restoration Hardware, can't Pinterest board your way there. Requires time, continuity, respect for what came before. Hit like and subscribe if you made it this far. And comment, would you rather have a perfectly styled trendy space or something real that took generations to build? Genuinely curious where people land on this. See you next time.